Hello everyone, welcome back to Understanding Mathematics. In today's video, I'll be sharing the solutions for questions 4 to 6 of the 2026 AMCA. So let's get started. Problem 4. Brian's saving decreased by 20% in July and then increased by 50% in August. His savings are now what percent of the original amount? Since we don't know how much money he actually has, so we're just going to use x as our variable. And we realize that amount of time passed and it's now July. The savings decreased by 20%, so 100% at 100% x minus 20% x, we get 80% x. And some more time passed. Now this time is increase. Then increase by 50%. What is 50% of 80%? That is 40%. Increase means goes up, so 80% x plus 40% x is equal to 120% x. So our answer for this problem would be E, 120%. Now let's go to the next problem. Problem 4. Cassie went on a road trip that covers 100 miles, stopping for a lunch break. It took her 3 hours in total, and her average speed was driving 40 miles per hour. In minutes, how long was the lunch break? So, it took her 3 hours while driving 40 miles per hour. That would be giving us 120 miles. So, she would be able to drive 120 miles without taking the lunch break. Okay. But she only drove 100 miles. That means we have to figure out the time when she can drive 20 miles, and then we can get the answer of how long was the lunch break. Since we know driving 40 miles in 60 minutes would be the same ratio, same speed as driving 20 miles, but we have to figure out how long was it, x minutes. So the first way of solving it would be we multiply the top and the bottom by the same number or divide. It would get us the same ratio. So in this case, it will be divided by 2. So 40 divided by 2 is 20. 60 divided by 2 would be 30. So x would be equal to 30. So the answer for this problem would be B, because how long it took her to drive 20 miles would be the same as the lunch break. But there is another more advanced method that you've probably never heard of. This is called cross multiply. If you've heard of it, then I bet you're really good at math. So this one is, you can multiply those and then get them into an equation and then solve for x. So it would be like 40x is equal to 1,200. So we multiply 40 and x and then multiply 20 and 60 to get 40x is equal to 1,200. You divide by 40 on both sides to get x is equal to 30, and then we get the same answer. This is almost the same as our last one, but this is a more advanced method. So let's move on to the third one. Peter lives near a rectangular field that is filled with blackberry bushes. The field is 10 meters long and 8 meters wide, and Peter can reach any blackberry that are within 1 meter of an edge of the field. The portion of the field he can reach is shaded in the figure below. What fraction of the area of the field can Peter reach? So, what are we trying to find? The shaded part over the whole. We have to find the shaded part. We have to find the whole. Put them into a fraction, and then we get the answer. So, using our formula, To find the area, it is length times width is equal to area. So length times width would be, in this case, 10 times 8 would be 80. So the whole would be 80. Now we find the shape part. The shade part. We have two ways of finding the shaded part. The first way is we use the whole to minus the white part, which is also equals to 8 times 6. Because we don't have this one part and then this one part, so it would be 6 and 8. So that would be 80 minus 48, which is also 32. And the other way of doing this would be we separate all of that into pieces. Let me just undo a few of those marking part. Okay. Oops. Okay, thank you for waiting. So we can separate them into parts. So we draw a line here, we draw a line here. We separate them into the equal parts. Okay. So we separate them into parts. So 10, 1 times 10 is 10, 10 times 2, those two parts are equal. And then we plus the other parts. 1 times 6 is 6, 2 times 6. So we add them up, would be 20 plus 12 would be 32. And those two are equal. So these are the two ways of finding 32. And then we write this on 80, but we're not finished yet because we have to simplify this. As I said, if you divide and multiply the same number on the top and the bottom of a fraction, you get the answer. You get the same ratio, which is answer, and that's called simplifying if you divide. Okay, 32 over 80 would be equal to 2 over 5. Why does this equal to 2 over 5? Because, as you see, we can divide 16 on the top and the bottom to get 2 over 5. But if you didn't know that they have the common factor of 16, then you can just use another way. You can just keep dividing by 2 until you can't divide by 2 anymore, and then you get the answer. So for this problem, the answer would be E, 2 over 5. Okay, we're all done today. So thank you for watching the video, and welcome to subscribe or like Understanding Mathematics. I hope you understand all of the concepts such as cross multiplying and all of the solutions I explained. So thank you very much. Bye!